Welcome back, dear viewers, to another episode of the Quirky Chronicles. Today we dive into the pages of history once more, but fear not, for we won't lose our heads over it. The French Revolution, a time of chaos and change, where heads rolled and myths were born. So, let's don our historical hats and journey back to the days of King Louis XVI, guillotines, and a revolution that turned the world upside down. Once upon a time, in the land of France, there was a rather portly chap by the name of Louis XVI. Now, Louis was no ordinary chap. He was the King of France. But alas, being king was no cakewalk, especially during the tumultuous times of the French Revolution. You see, the French Revolution was like a grand farce, with disgruntled commoners and rebellious nobles clashing in a whirlwind of chaos. The people had grown tired of the monarchy's extravagant ways, and they demanded change. One fine day, Louis XVI found himself in a bit of a sticky situation. The revolutionaries had him right where they wanted him. On trial, they accused him of all sorts of dastardly deeds, and the verdict was a foregone conclusion: off with his head. Now, let me debunk a popular myth before we proceed. There's a tall tale that they had to drop the guillotine twice because of Louis's ample neck size. Rubbish! Utter nonsense! You see, the guillotine was a most efficient contraption designed to carry out its grisly task with lightning speed and precision. But oh, the hysteria surrounding the whole affair. It was like a mad tea party with the Cheshire Cat, only with more heads rolling about. People flocked to witness the spectacle, as if it were the grandest show in town. The day of reckoning arrived, and poor Louis found himself standing before the dreaded guillotine. Now, imagine the scene. The once mighty king nervously adjusting his cravat, trying not to let fear get the better of him. But let's not pity him too much. After all, he wasn't entirely innocent. The king had his fair share of faults and foibles, and it seemed that fate had finally caught up with him. As the blade of the guillotine gleamed menacingly overhead, a hushed silence fell over the crowd. The revolutionaries were eager for their pound of flesh, and the common folk were eager for a bit of bloody entertainment. And then, with a swift whoosh, the blade came down, ending the reign of Louis XVI. But here's the thing. Despite the dramatic claims of a double drop, the guillotine did its job in one fell swoop. That's right. It was a clean cut, as clean as a Frenchman's shave. Now, the king's head rolled, quite literally, and with it, the monarchy tumbled down like a house of cards. The French Revolution had claimed its grandest prize, the end of the monarchy and the beginning of a new era for France. But let's not forget the other characters in this peculiar play of history. Enter Marie Antoinette, the Queen of France, who met a similar fate not long after her beloved husband. Let them eat cake, they said she declared, though historians debate the veracity of those famous words. In any case, Marie Antoinette found herself facing the same grim fate as Louis. The guillotine, ever efficient, had no preference for gender or royalty. It sliced through necks with egalitarian gusto. The French Revolution was an extraordinary time, a whirlpool of radical ideas, passions and misadventures. Heads were falling left and right, and not just of the nobility. The revolutionaries were equal, opportunity executioners keen on purging the old order. As the guillotine worked its way through France's elite, it became a macabre symbol of the revolution's ruthlessness. But let's not be too gloomy. Amidst the chaos, there was a glimmer of progress. The revolutionaries ushered in a series of reforms that laid the groundwork for modern France. However, as often happens with radical change, things went a bit overboard. The reign of terror descended, and the revolutionaries started devouring each other like a pack of rabid hyenas. Robespierre, the architect of the Reign of Terror, was eventually toppled and sent to the very guillotine he championed. Oh, the irony! In the end, the dust settled, and France found itself a republic. The monarchy was but a distant memory, and the guillotine was relegated to history's blood-stained pages. So, dear friends, let's not perpetuate the myth of Louis's fat neck and the guillotine's double drop. History is already filled with enough juicy tales and bizarre twists. The French Revolution was a veritable madhouse of events, where truth was often stranger than fiction. As we bid adieu to Louis XVI and his unfortunate demise, let's remember that history is a rich tapestry of comedy and tragedy, laughter and tears. And so we conclude this quirky tale of the guillotine's fateful dance with a plump French king. Vive la France! And let us toast to a future where heads remain firmly attached to their shoulders. And with that we bid adieu, dear friends. If you enjoyed this peculiar tale of history's twists and turns, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the Quirky Chronicles for more entertaining escapade. Share this video with your fellow history buffs and curious minds. Until next time, remember, truth is often stranger than fiction. Keep smiling, stay curious, and we'll catch you in the next quirky adventure. Cheerio!